In the last video, what we were learning, how can we create the producer and the consumer in the same one microservice. So ideally, in most of the scenarios, if you are creating a distributed application through the microservice, so what happens is like you usually create a separate microservice or a Spring Boot service for the producer and a separate service for the consumer. There are chances that there are in few cases you need to create the both producer and the consumer in the same service, but in most of the cases you will find that the services for the producer and the consumer are different. So today we are going to learn how can we create different microservice for the producer and the consumer. So I'm using the Spring Initializer tool to create the project. So I will add all the dependencies. Before that, let's create the project. Uh, Producer. I will put ms1. Let's put the same on that effect. Sample is fine. Remove it. I'm choosing Java 8. So Kafka, the first dependency. Second is the web. We need the Spring Web for this. I'm not adding any other tools like the logging or the Lombok, and there are various tools that we could add into it. But right now, I'm not adding it. Slowly, once we will grow with the different technologies, and we will start learning the other technology, then I will start adding those dependencies as well. So let's generate this application. Let's go to the download section. And this, we copy this to my workspace. I'm extracting it. Extracting Kafka Producer 1. Kafka Producer. This is the microservice one. So let me create. So this will convert actually that project into Eclipse project, so it will be easier to import and work on it. So in the meantime, it will also download the different dependencies which I have added. In the meantime, let me close. So let's create the different packages. So in the previous videos, if you remember, I have created one config which contains the Kafka producer config file. Another is the dot producer package which contain the component for the creating the messages into the Kafka. Another is the controller. So we need a DTO as well in this case. So because we already created the producer So we could just add that producer details here. Yeah, it is shared. Kafka producer config. You can rename it as per your need, but right now I'm this is producer. So our config is here, or uh, message producer class is here. It's a component bean. So now we need a controller and the DTO. Let's first create the DTO. So for example, message DTO. Let's take only two attributes right now. Can you generate the segregator for this? Let's create the controller here. Class. So let's add rest controller. Request mapping. PI. Let's add a post mapping. Request body. Which says DTO. So we have to call that message producer uh, bean here to the auto wiring. Auto wiring. Wired. So we need to auto wire Kafka message producer. message. So here we have the DTO, which is a class object. So obviously we have to uh, map it. Do not remember the exact code, so we could use object mapper like this. If everything goes well, then return success. For now, I'm not making any complex, design or the return response. I'm just simply returning the string message success. Further, once we will start learning the new thing, then we will, add more complex responses. So this is all done. Okay, let me start my Kafka. First, let me start the Zookeeper. Second, I will start the Kafka. So my Kafka is started. So let me just run the service because we are going to create the multiple services. Let me add the port for this server so that we could, uh, call it by different port names. Just let me clean it. Let me build it. Install. Build is complete and I hope there is no errors. Pull it. Yeah, so it is successfully built. So let me run it the debug mode so that if there will be any issue we could drag it. Right, let me start the postman. So it is started at the 4444. So the meantime it starts. So this is the kind of post. So I'm just mentioning localhost. Just taking example of this. Instead of this, I have 4444 slash API slash create. API create, and the message body has ID and the name. So I will create a simple JSON with the ID and the name. So I will select a raw. So instead of this, I will create the object that is ID because it is Second is name colon, let's say my name. So this is, let me beautify it. Right, so it's done. Yeah, it's success. That means it created that message in the topic. The topic name is, the test. Mm, let's see if we could check in the consumer side. I think I removed that command, but yeah. So we created this message through the service. Let's create another example, which is the consumer. So I will just fix this service Kafka. Instead of producer, I will add consumer. uh, Consumer service. So in this case, I mean, for the consumer side, I don't need any web because I'm not going to access it through the REST API. So I'm just removing that. I'm just using the Kafka consumer. So let's create it. Consumer, yeah, everything is fine. So let me copy this to the workspace. Extract here. Kafka consumer CMD and Eclipse. So I will not stop the service. I'm just going to import a new project. Browse. So this is C drive, workspace, consumer service, right? Kafka consumer, yeah, this one. So I'm just going to add the config and one consumer dot consumer. So because we already written the consumer config, so I will just copy paste it from here. Kafka consumer. It is the same. Now I will just take this example, that listener consumer, which has a listener annotation. So consumer, I don't think we need more than this. Consumer config, yeah, this is enough. So we could just start consuming the message from that topic. Okay, let me clean this service. Okay, let me add the different port so that it will not conflict with the previous service. Let's say it 4 times 5. clean. Let me install it. So consumer is actually, so whatever the message, yeah, it is built. So whatever the message we will receive, we will just, see in this format. So let me start this server. Ideally, the first message should be, okay, we received the message, but in a different format. This is actually printing the object. Uh, yeah, this is printing the object. So we have to actually convert it into the different format. Let's see. We have a string serializer. Mm, we send another message. Yeah, in different format. I need to convert it. So it was a silly mistake where instead of converting and sending this string val, I sent the object mapper uh, here. So now I have fixed it in this version, so you can see it. Like whenever I send the message here, you will receive on the other side. So if you see, I'm just holding for a few seconds. Yeah, right. So I'm just committing all these codes into the Git. You could download and test it in your environment. So there are two services running parallelly. One is on the 4x4, another is 4x5 port numbers. So you could test it. These services are running on the two different services and working fine. So let me know if you have any question in the comments below the video, or you can directly email me in my email ID. Thank you very much.